Hey everybody. So much fun sharing with you all my fun quilty clothes that I made. And I wanted to just share with you what I bought myself for my 50th birthday present. So my dear friend Tenny, she has an incredible eye and she is really wonderful at outsourcing gorgeous quilts. And so I decided to buy myself 2 new quilts. Now this one is completely hand pieced. So you can see that. It is an amazing scrap quilt. How fun is that? And so lots of fun, different fabrics. I love what this person has done. It makes me sad that I don't know who this person was, but super fun. And this, Tenny said, she always has a little tag on the corner. So this one, I'm going to wash it and press it, and then I will see how square it is. It feels very square to me. So it is 72 by 88, and it's a 50s quilt top. Lots of clothes, like look how fun. So many details, so many fun details. So I love the whole low volume with the border, all the border, the sashing is all kind of low volume and lots of fun. So I will see what I plan to do with this one. I'm thinking I might make another dress, or I might just go ahead and quilt it up. I'm not sure, but I love it. And I think it has so many fun colors that we can play with. Now, this next one, this was a splurge, I have to tell you. I am a huge fan of Dresden plates. And it was interesting because my great grandfather came to Canada as a soldier in the Royal Artillery. He was posted in Halifax at the Citadel, and he lived and died on Dresden Row. When I went to the archives, I found that. And when I saw this quilt, I just couldn't get it out of my mind. I would be so sad if I didn't buy it. How many times have you said that? So this is 92 by 60, so it's not as wide, but look how rich and gorgeous the colors are. Not only that, but can you get over this border? This border is incredible. And I'm just gonna show you. Look how amazing that is. Look at all the patience and the detail of the stitching. Now, it's in fairly good shape, this quilt. There are some stains, and it's beautiful. So I am not sure what to do with it. I haven't decided. I don't need to decide. I like that I know what size it is, and it has these big designs. It also has this beautiful quilting in this open space. And so I get to decide how I want to highlight that. So one of the suggestions that I have when you are working with a vintage quilt, and by the way, this does not smell the best. I'm not sure, but it's funny because look, you can still see the pencil marks for the stitching. Isn't that crazy? So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I don't know if we're going to be able to get those pencil stitches out. I'll use my magic cleaner, and we'll see how that goes. But one of the things that I want to suggest when you're doing something like this, now that quilt is one of a kind. It was a big investment. It's beautiful. It's stunning. So when you're playing with the pattern pieces, there's no room for error, right? There really isn't. You want to nail it. And so one of the things that I do every time, I'm a huge thrift store shopper. I love thrift stores. I love the thrill of the hunt. Like, I just have a lot of fun going to thrift stores. So I found this quilt recently, and it is a whole cloth quilt. It has just amazing, look at all the details. But it also has a scalloped border. So I would then take my pattern piece and I would play with it, and I would really nail that, so I would play around with the design, and then I would cut out the pattern pieces. I would cut out the pattern. I would piece it together on a larger needle length. And then I would make sure I got the length of the arm correct. I would make sure that I have it fitted to my body the way I wanted to, all of that. And then when I nailed that, then I would take the piece apart. I would get the butcher paper, I would put it down, I would trace it, and then make my own pattern. So that way I'm not messing around. I'm not worried about cutting, because cutting that is, I'm going to be stressed. There's no doubt about it. And I also want to utilize every inch as much as I can because it's so gorgeous. So whether if I make a full outfit, a dress, a jacket, and then I can use, I love those scallops. So do I embellish it for a jean jacket? Do I embellish it on another, something else? And so I'm wanting to utilize all of that beautiful quilting and fabric. And so the other thing is, this is not a race. So I can get ideas, make a Pinterest board, look at other people who design quilt clothes, get those ideas percolating in your brain. I want to teach you some brain science. This is going to be really helpful. So we have two parts to our brain. We have our lower brain. That's kind of we call it like the monkey brain or the reptilian brain. There's lots of different ways of talking about it. But that lower brain, it actually keeps us safe. It keeps us alive. So it's always looking for danger. It wants us to conserve energy, and it wants us to not put ourselves out there, because it's you know what, we don't know, think about our ancestors. They didn't have food on demand. They had to go and find it. And so instinctually, we want to conserve energy, we want to seek pleasure, and we want to avoid pain. So there's a lot of good things, but the lower brain does that for us. So it makes sure that we don't get run over by cars. It makes sure that we don't aren't super rude to people, so that we'll, get rejected from the tribe or whatever. And so that has its place. However, our higher brain, so I call it the CEO brain, it's always wanting us to be better. It's always wanting us to challenge ourselves. It wants us to grow and to thrive. It wants us to truly create our own pleasure, so we're not relying on other people and we're not worried so much about what other people think, because it's we're creating our own joy, which is that's sustainable, right? We can't keep eating a chocolate bar and keep eating it to feel joy. That's not sustainable. And the consequences, as you can see in our culture, of obesity and of diabetes and all of that, we are killing ourselves. We are not living as long. And so a life coach is someone who helps you to understand what's going on in our higher and lower brain. Why are we saying the things we are saying? Why are we using fear to hold us back? Why aren't we, why aren't we saying no when we really want to? Why are we always putting ourselves on the back burner? Why are we feeling so resentful every night? Why are we overeating? We know we shouldn't, but then we find ourselves at 10:30 at night at the bottom of a Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Why aren't we taking those steps? And why do we keep repeating all those self-sabotaging? So a life coach helps you get into your brain and see those interactions and start becoming the driver of your own life. Imagine you have a car, in your driveway, and it's a beautiful car, but you don't ever drive it. What is that going to do? It just sits there. You don't get the pleasure from it. So when you don't understand and key in with your brain of what's going on, then you don't actually ever really get to live a life that you really love. So that's my job. I help you do that. And if you're interested in more, you can take a sneak peek on my podcast. I give you lots of tools to help you to look at, and it'll give you an idea of, oh, that's why I always say yes when I meant to say no. Oh, that's why I have so much resentment. Oh, that's why I'm not getting so much done every day. So you're going to get some really good insights. In fact, I just had a lady, I met her at Quilt Festival. She had to, on her flight home, she had all this time. She listened to 13 podcast episodes, and she joined the very next morning because she said, "You are speaking directly to me. I am not broken after all. I can do these things." And then because she was seeing how even after listening to 13 episodes in a short amount of time, she approached work differently. She approached situations at home differently. And it was amazing to her that she could make such changes in such a short time because now she has the tools. All right. And that's what I just have so much pleasure. So I do have a lifetime membership where I help women learn these mental tools so that weight loss becomes a consequence, and not buffering. So getting more done, that's a consequence. It's the side effect of what happens when you start going into here. All right. It was so much fun sharing with you my 2 new quilts that I bought for myself for my 50th birthday. And in the comments below, I'd love you to share any suggestions of what I should make with these 2 new quilts. All right. Take care, everyone.